back to another episode of The Lanky Woodsman. I am here today to go over my new Bugout bag. I know I have a video already out from a while back discussing the contents of my Bugout bag. I actually got a different backpack and I have a few different things that I put in there and more organized at this point, so I thought it was time to go ahead and do another video explaining how I built this bag. And another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to post links to every single item that I have in this bag in the description, which I never got around to in the other video, so I apologize for that. So, just to start off, this is the bag. I'm not going to go over a ton of details because I think I'm going to do just a video solely on the bag. But what I'm going to do now is start from the outside in and work my way through the contents of the bag and explain to you guys how I kind of came up with the ideas from other channels and other research for what I'm putting in my bag. On the outside, right off the bat, I have my radio. This right now can listen to different emergency responder, like a scanner, channels. It also has the capability to be a ham radio. I'm not an operator yet, but that's something that I'm working on. So this is going to be handy to have. I also have a charger that goes in my car and another back for this, which is a casing for 5 AAA batteries in case I'm not able to recharge this one. So that's the first item. Let's see, we'll go to the large pouch first. So, one of the things that I didn't have in my last video, but I had just packed away in another spot, is some extra clothes. I got some socks, a pair of my 511 pants. I'll do another a video on those separately. That goes in conjunction with what I have in my trunk. I have extra boots and more clothing in my car as well. There's very few times where I'm actually not pretty much within 1,000 feet of my car, so I kind of use that as part of my plan to go along with the bag. Next, because of where I live, I got a large bottle of that Sawyer insect repellent spray that I mentioned in one of my videos. I had a little bottle of it from the battle box, and it worked really well, so I picked up a large bottle of that. I have a large tarp. This is what would cover my shelter. It wasn't like a real cheap one, but it also wasn't a real expensive one either. And I'm going to go ahead and get that tested as soon as I can. We actually have some rain in the forecast, of course, all this weekend, so I'm going to try to get out there and test that. Another item in the larger pouch, I have a rope that is actually certified for climbing. I'm not a climber, but I know a ton of situations where this could come in useful. Not even necessarily, you know, to climb a mountain or anything like that, but there's definitely some areas here that could give you some trouble if you had to scale down them. So this could be handy for that and several other situations. And let's see, down on the bottom, I have my cell phone cord, one of my cell phone cords, and my ANKER battery. This is actually a battery that I kind of keep in the car. I have a new ANKER battery to replace this one, but I'm going to keep this one in the car or in this bag. It actually comes with the battery cables for your car, so you can jump start your car. I have tested that, it works great. I've had to jump start my lawn tractor a ton of times before I got a new battery for that. And it charges my battery on my phone 2 or 3 times, I believe. I think it's like a 10,000 mAh. So that's very handy to have. What else? Another category that I didn't cover in my last video because I didn't feel like getting this stuff out was food. I have 2 packages of these emergency food ration bars. They have a 5-year shelf life. They're a little bit heavy, but they're definitely worth having in here. They're 24 calorie bars. You can split this up and spread it out over a few days. I have a handheld solar powered hand crank type radio. You can charge your phone on this. There's a flashlight and you can get access to the radio. It works really well. It was minimal money. I think it was around like 15 bucks. Again, I'm going to go ahead and put links in the description for all of this stuff. Some of the things might not be exactly what I paid for them, because some of this stuff was I purchased, you know, a year and a half, 2 years ago, but you'll have the new price. Hopefully it's either lower or stayed the same. In this pouch I have my small camp stove where you would hook a propane tank, which I also have in here, into here, and you can cook oil, water, or whatever you need to do on top of that. This was really cheap. It's very small and very light, and it doesn't take up hardly any space in here. So that's definitely handy to have. Running out of space. This new table I got is a lot smaller than the one I was working with upstairs. Here is the canister for that. I think I just picked it up at Walmart or Dick's Sporting Goods or something like that. It's a 8.9 ounce, so it should last quite a while on that little stove. What else? Emergency bivvy to go along with my tarp. Something that can either add for heat or just plain old rain cover. I threw in my smaller mess kit into this. I got that larger one that I used in one of my last videos. Or you know what? I didn't do a video on it yet. I just went camping and I didn't do any videos that week. But I have a larger mess kit that I got, and that's kind of in my camping gear. So now this smaller compact one is going to stay in here in my bag. And I think, yep, here they are. I have maps in the larger pouch in the back of my county and the adjoining county, and also of the entire state of New York. I just think that that's really handy to have if you're going to have to be moving. And last thing in the large pouch is my Bravo Survivor by Bark River. It's an amazing knife. I did one video on it, but I totally screwed up the sound, and it's still getting a bunch of views and likes and comments, so I'm going to do this thing a little bit more justice, and hopefully this weekend I'm going to get out and make another video on this. It's an amazing blade. Now obviously it doesn't have to be a Bark River for your survival blade. I have several others that would fit the bill. I just love that one. I also have a Becker BK2 that I'm going to be doing a review on. That would be totally fine. I also have a K-Bar fighting knife, a U.S. Marine Corps fighting knife. I think that that would be a decent knife to bring. There's a BK16 that I have. There's a whole bunch. I have that tracker. There's a whole bunch that you could bring out. Whatever one you feel comfortable with, and just be sure that you have tested the piss out of it. If it's going to be your survival blade, you want it to stand up to that. So make sure that you test all of your gear, to be honest, and yeah, choose the gear that you're confident in. Next pouch up, I have my Bushcrafter, Bark River Bushcrafter. I'm not going to always want to just be, working with that larger blade, but if I had to, I would keep the larger of the two. But it's nice to have a smaller bushcraft style knife. This is a smaller area that I have, but I have my SHEMAGH in here. Serves a lot of purposes. I've actually filtered water through it to at least remove some of the debris out of there after boiling. To go along with water, I have a Sawyer, not a Sawyer, a Life Straw. Sorry, I have a Sawyer Mini in my other bag. Life Straw, this works really well. It's large, and obviously everybody's heard of those, so And then I have my med kit. This is the upgraded med kit. I've actually just recently added a small bottle of alcohol, but other than that it had a lot of really decent things for a very decent price. I will do a video on this separately because I really think that this is one of the most important things in your bag. I have a smaller pouch within this pouch where I have everything for fire starting. I put the Zippo puck in there for Tinder. I have a bag of dryer lint. This stuff is so light and it compacts down, but it takes a spark really well, so it's handy to have. Another item that I got from Battle Box that I probably wouldn't purchase myself is this Tack holder for a lighter. Just a Bic lighter goes in there, keeps it a little bit more weatherproof. I have, what did I put in here? I think I just had, so these are weatherproof matches, and I think these were just regular matches. Yeah, this is just regular matches with another strike pad in there. So I have both of those. I have a magnifying glass, you know, kind of as a last-ditch effort, or if this is the only thing that I can get to work at the moment, magnify the sun into something and get it to ignite. I have my larger Ferro Rod that I made with the deer antler handle. It actually works really well. And I think, oh yeah, these things are pretty good. I'm going to use one of these in my next video. But it's the Mini Inferno, little wafers that are soaked in some form of fuel or maybe just some oils. But and that's it for that pouch. Moving on, small pouch on the top front. I have a light. This is my spotlight. I just think that it's very important to have as much light as possible in situations where you're going to be having to move around in the dark. This is actually that Sawyer insect repellent, but this is going to go back in my camping bag, so I'm just going to toss that aside. I forgot I still had that in here. Let's see. I have emergency blankets. I have two of those. Two little emergency blankets. Very small, very light, serves a good purpose. Two hand warmers, about the same size as an emergency blanket. I have a Write in the Rain notepad with a pencil. If you have to take notes, if you want to remember where something is or whatever, that's useful. I put the slingshot in here. Obviously I'll have a pistol on me and hopefully a rifle as well, but this is something that I think really can come in handy, as well as that mini crossbow for hunting and not drawing any attention to yourself. So I put that in here along with its ammo. Is in here somewhere as well. I have a couple of light sticks. This is my fishing kit. I made a little fishing kit with some sinkers, hooks, razor blade, a couple of these little plastic lures, which I know are successful, at least in my lake here, for catching bass. I have my card for knot tying. I've mentioned in a couple of other videos that I'm pretty weak at doing knots, and this is how I'm going to learn how to do that along with some YouTube videos, but just for reference, in case you get out of practice, I have that in there. I also, because I'm really paranoid about not being able to brush my teeth, I have toothpaste and a toothbrush. I believe that is all in that pouch. Then we have two little side pouches where I have a headlamp. These are my favorite thing when it comes to camping or being outside in the dark, hunting or anything like that. Hands free, and you still have plenty of light to see what you're doing. I have a sewing kit. I don't, just to repair things if you rip your pants or shirt or anything like that, to stop it from ripping further. Here's the battery system for my radio that I was telling you about. that can, instead of being a rechargeable battery, it's actually something you can pop this open and put AA batteries in. This actually, what did this come with? I forget what this came with, but it's just, I got something. Totally can't remember right now, I'm spacing, but I decided what am I going to do, throw it out, so I just tossed it in my bag. It weighs almost nothing. There's actually a decent sized button compass, a whistle, some safety pins, and some tweezers. And it came in something that I bought just like this, so I threw it in a pouch. Kind of like a mini little kit. For water processing, I also have the tablets. Not exactly my first choice at all, but I would definitely have them in case I wasn't able to boil water. I have a tin here in which I placed, there's 8 AA batteries in here. My headlamp, my flashlight, my radio all use AA batteries, so that's all for that pocket. In this pocket I have a bug head net. It was a little cheap thing at Dick's Sporting Goods, but there's a ton of mosquitoes around here. We have a lot of swamps and a lot of water around here, and it's just constant mosquitoes where I live. I have my compass, also I believe just not the cheapest, but not also the most expensive, but it'll do the job. I've used it. What else? I have a roll of Gorilla Tape and a roll of electrical tape. I like both of these things for various reasons, but obviously the Gorilla Tape is very strong and durable. The electrical tape can just be useful for a bunch of things. And I also have the old Gerber Multi-Tool that I had attached to my EDC bag is now in here, as I purchased a Leatherman rebar, which is now in my EDC bag, which also is with me at all times, and I will have everything in here to go along with this bag. So I think that covers all of the pouches that I have anything in at the moment. And Marting top backpack here. It's 3-day. It's similar to the Condor 3-day assault pack that I had. It's very similar in size. It has a pouch for water, just like the other one did. Very similar. But what I liked about this one is there's a lot more straps around it to be able to cinch it down and be much more firm. There's a lot of loose things on the other bag that kind of threw the weight around and things like that. When I wear this, I can tighten it right down so it's very, very firm and fits nice, and I feel more agile when I'm wearing it. And it still also has the chest strap and the waist strap. So yeah, I like it better. And I just kind of like the black a little bit better too, rather than the military type color, to kind of just not necessarily draw attention to myself. So guys, that is the video on how I built my current Bugout bag. Again, I'm totally open to suggestions. If you guys think I missed something, or if you pack something different, give me some ideas. I know these are going to be different for certain people who live in cities versus someone who lives where I live. You're going to want a few different things to deal with your terrain and your atmosphere out there. But this is what I've got, and I hope this helps somebody out, when they're trying to start their Bugout bag. I know I was looking at all sorts of stuff when I, was starting mine, so it was very helpful to go on YouTube and see what everybody else was doing. And again, as far as extra footwear or whatever, I have stuff in my car, and for me, in my mind, yes, anything can happen and I could be separated at any time from my car, but I have all that stuff in there, and I'm hardly ever away from my car, more than 1,000 feet. Drive to work, I'm in my car, go home, my car's right out there. It's always where I'm at, so it makes sense to me. So anyway, thanks guys for checking out this video. I hope you like it. I hope it helps you guys out. Please feel free to like and share the video and comment down below with any suggestions or questions. I love to interact with you guys in the comment section. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, and make sure you click the bell icon for alerts for when I put out new videos. Thanks guys for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one.